Welcome back to Life the Dream. I'm your host Jeremy, and I'm incredibly plugged up, as you can tell. I've had a wild, I've had a wild last week. If you tapped into the last episode, you know that I went to this science conference in Portland, Maine, and I mean, yeah, I mentioned that I was looking for some novelty. Like I definitely got that. Like it was just a crazy experience. I met a ton of cool people. I was kind of going into it pretty tired. I think just from working a lot before then. So like, I definitely had some moments where I'm like, I think even if I went on like my A game going in, I would have been tired. But because I was going in probably on my C or my D game, I was like, really, really had some time where I was just tired. But you just something about life, you realize sometimes you just gotta like power through, and you don't have a choice. So you just buckle in, have some coffee, just do whatever you can to kind of like push through, and learned a ton of science, which was like, honestly, it was an invaluable experience. Like, managed to still get in like good amount of runs, so I kept my training up, which was definitely, I was nervous about that. So the fact that I was able to like come through and do that was really good. Shout out the homies Ethan and Jane, a couple of friends from college. I decided to like extend my trip by a couple days and hang out with them, and we explored some beaches. Shout out Crescent Beach, and I think is it Pom Pom Beach. Two really good spots. Checked out Bates too. Holy money! Oh my gosh, it's like a small like college campus, kind of like Ivy adjacent. But like they got some serious donors, I think, because yeah, they have like a really nice campus. But yeah, pretty solid, man. I got back. This was a crazy day. So yesterday, I hung out. Me, Ethan, and Jane went for like a 7 mile walk, 7 mile hike, like on the beach, and then we hung out like all day Saturday, and then they dropped me off at like 4 to hit the bus back to Boston because that's where my flight was. So I was on the bus from 4 to 6 to Boston, and then had my flight from like 8 until midnight. So it was a 4 hour flight, but I like went back 2 hours, so I saved a couple hours, I think. I don't even know how that makes sense though, because that's still 4 hours. But anyways, so bus from Boston to, okay, not even counting the amount of car time that me, Ethan, and Jane had, which is probably around 2 hours. So let's count that. 2 hours of driving that Saturday, plus 2 hours on the bus, 4, plus 2 hours at the airport, 6, plus the flight, that's 4, that's 10. And then this was like the dumbest thing ever, dude. The train in Denver has 2 stations. One is like 40th in Colorado, and the other one is like 40th in like another cross street. And I remember it being 40th, and keep in mind, it was like 1 in the morning. Like, I was so tired, and I was like, oh, it's 40th. And it was the first 40th, and it was like 10 miles away from my house. So I like I could have like saved a lot of money on the Uber and saved a lot of time by just keeping on the train. But I got off on this like other 40th and whatever street and got like major screw job. So like that ended up being like another 2 hours. So in total, it was like near a 12-hour day of travel, and it was just like, I got out. I was just so delusional when I landed. Like I think I was already gonna be a little jet lagged from the 2 hour time difference, but then I tacked on the fact that I got back to my house at like 1 a.m. and then I stayed up a little bit because I just like wasn't tired. Like but then I like woke up at 6 a.m. this morning. Like I don't, because technically it would have been 8 a.m. in like on the East Coast, right? And I was adapted for that. So I think my body was like, it's 8 a.m. even though it was 6 a.m. in Mountain Time. So that, but I could tell I was just exhausted, but I like couldn't go back to sleep. So then like, I don't know, my brain was just like the fuzziest it's ever been ever today. And I was like, I was gonna do work, and then I like tried, and I have like, I'm so like, I like the passion for my research and my science has like returned, and I'm super like excited to like kind of like use that to like push myself again. But my brain is just like, nah, bro, like you just, you've overworked yourself so much. So I've just been like, kind of just relaxing. I took like 3 naps today. And now it's like 9 o'clock, and I'm gonna attempt to like go back to bed. My saving grace though, Sunday's my long run. So today, like just before this, I went for like a little 11 mile long run like through the city, and dude, I don't know what it was, but like mile 3, dude, like I got like this, I get this like tingling feeling through my like forearms sometimes, and that's how I know I just like, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a runner's high run. And like honestly, all my long runs were like that. Like it's so nice. Like the first, it comes in waves, man. Like going on long runs like over, I would say like 8 miles is such a like, it's such a journey, man. Like you have like, usually the first couple are easy, and then like the next three suck, and then like eventually you just hit this state of like, of just like it's just, you're just in the runner's high, man. That's like the only way I can describe it. And I think that's why when a lot of people meet me, they think I'm just like this absolute stoner, like who just like smokes weed all the time, because I like just give off this vibe of just like, but it's really just the runs. Like I'm just like addicted to these endorphins. And then like I got back, dude, and I just like, it was like dark the whole time. I've like discovered these like parkways, if you guys are familiar, where it's like there's traffic on both sides of you, but they put like an island of trees and grass in the middle. And dude, Denver's so nice. Like they just have like small trails where people run on those, and like I was just like jumping from parkway to parkway, and like, oh my gosh, dude, I was just like in flow state, and like there was a storm coming in, and yeah, I like ended up turning around at like mile 8, and it just started downpouring, and like I don't even know, man. It was like awesome. Like it got even, the temperature was perfect. Yeah, I was a little wet, but it didn't even matter. Like all I had was like shoes on and shorts. Like it really didn't matter. And I was just like, my watch died. I just didn't even care. Like it was just like, it was just a beautiful run. And like this whole day I've just felt so out of it. And like this run, I just like, I still like kind of feel out of it, but like now in a good way, where I'm just like on another planet from this run. So like, I don't know, hopefully the run will like kind of reset my sleep clock, and I don't know, we'll see tonight if I actually get some decent sleep. But overall weird day. Like I purposely like, my body like hates when I rest. It's kind of disgusting, but like I like forced myself just to do nothing today. And as much as it was like boring, I think it's just good like in every way, mentally, physically, for me to just like rest, you know. But yeah, dude, I got to thinking on the run, a lot of my like best ideas come on like drives or like runs, when you just like you just have a lot of time to like let your mind run. And just got to thinking, man, like I still think I am like pretty positive guy. I'm like very grateful to have had that like ingrained in me, and I'm not sure that will like ever fully die, despite like any like stressors or things that I have. Like yeah, I might have days where I'm like tired. I feel like I felt tired like the past couple months, but I still like have a pretty optimistic outlook on like, I think, my life and the way things are going. And but like as I get older, I think I realize that like life is hard, dude. Like there's not many things about life that are like easy. Like even like for example, sorry, this cough is like has been going on all week. It's just like allergy related, so apologize in advance. I'm too lazy to cut these out. But even as something as simple as getting out of bed in the morning, dude, like it's not easy. It's not fun. Like it's hard. It's hard work. Like everything about life is pretty hard work. But like ironically, the hardest things in life I think are also like what make life worth living in a way. And I'm a big like goal setter. I think that's like what I like live and die by in my life, and it just like just helps you like set a compass for yourself of like, okay, where am I now, where do I want to be, and how do I get there, and you have these like objectives for how you want to get there, but I think like some of the wisest people I find are the people that have really like been through the most, and I think it's like it's these like challenges that develop us into like who we are as people, and even as something as simple as like moving out of state where you don't have a lot of friends, it's like you just learn so much about the world, man, and like it's so hard if you've never done it to like really kind of like, it sounds so corny, but you literally like expand your mind, like it and that's why like I'm thinking like people are like, oh, like like where do you want to go like after you're done with graduating and you're on to your next chapter, and I'm like, honestly, dude, there's not many places like I wouldn't go. Like I think if I have an opportunity to like, I don't know, like I think number one would be like working for someone who's like just like a high profile scientist, like so I can just learn how to do really good science. Like that's my goal. And there are a lot of places around the world that offer that. From what it seems like, it's kind of restricted to, I would say, like Canada, US, and Europe for the most part. So that kind of like narrows things a little bit, but yeah, I'm like a, I think I'm just like I'm realizing I'm just in a really fortunate place to be able to, if I work really hard and things kind of work out the way that I think they will, I'll be able to like set that life up for myself, and be able to train with a really excellent scientist where I can learn how to like ask really powerful scientific questions and learn how to properly answer them. And I think like this conference has just made me realize like it's like something clicked during the conference, and I just like, I think after I heard like the 50th talk, I just like understood how to do science, because it is a pattern, dude. Like it is, there's a formula to it, and like it is like it takes a while, and I'm definitely not there yet. I think I'll look back next year at this time and be like, bro thought he knew what he was doing. But like I'm actually like feeling like I'm like getting there, and I think it is like I used to really like complicate it a lot, and I honestly think like the more simplified it is in your mind, I think the better grasp you have you like have of a concept, where it is like you can explain it in this really like simple manner, and it really is just like you have a question, and you have a hypothesis to test that, and that hypothesis, and then like that experiment will help you answer the question and test your hypothesis. And it really is so weird, like growing up and like going through these science classes where like they teach you like what's the hypothesis, how do you test it, design an experiment to test it. That is like literally like that is actually what it is. And like it gets more complicated than that, but it's fun, man. Like it really requires you to use like every part of your understanding about like the assay that you're using to like measure whatever you're trying to measure, and like using your knowledge about like the subject. In this case, I'd be like the immune system, right? And then like I think where it really gets fun is like assuming you design the experiment correctly with the right controls and everything, then you can make like based on like the data that you get, right? Like you can make so many conclusions and interpretations, and then like what happens is from that data you like ask another question, right? And then you like have another hypothesis, and then you like build, and eventually you just get to this point where you like you've answered the main question that you've been hoping to answer. But it's all these like micro questions that you first have to answer to like get to that point, you know? And it's satisfying, man. It's really slow, but like I can see like it's like slowly starting to pay off, and I'm getting kind of excited. So all that to say, like I like don't shy away from something that's challenging or difficult or out of your comfort zone, because I think this is where like I've said on this channel before, like this is where that growth comes from. And this is where like when you're 40 I just have this feeling that like why 40, like a lot of times like older people make life look so easy is because they've gone through the muck like right now in your 20s and your 30s, right? And you've gone through all these difficulties and hardships, and you know I really think like life is just like it's just a wave, man. And like sometimes you're at the top of that wave and you're surfing that, maybe you're even in the tube, man, and it's like everything seems to be going your way, you know? Like I don't know, dude, like recently I've felt like I've kind of been riding that a little bit, like just for a variety of reasons. I'm not gonna like get into it too much, but I think like things have just like been seeming to like go my way, and it's just like amazing to see that happen. But like if you would ask me that 3 months ago, I would have said like I was in the trough, dude. Like I was in the deepest trough I've ever been. And that's the thing, dude. Like life is like there's like, you know, like I would say like in high school, dude, like the waves were like less, you know? And like the nice part about that is like you don't have these like super lows that like probably an 18-year-old just shouldn't honestly deal with. Like sure, it really makes you strong if you deal with it that young, but like I would argue like sometimes you just have to be older. Being a little bit older can make you more equipped to like handle stuff, because you have dealt with some stuff in your past, right? Like but like if you're really trying to learn, like really like I would say just like make your wave super, like really like push the limits, like get in that trough, you know? And it sucks, but like you figure out like okay, like how did I even get in this trough to begin with? B, like how do I get out of it? And once you get out of it, it's like bro, like I don't know, you're like I did that, you know? And like no one can like take that from you. And I really think like getting out of that trough and like taking that trough with you, that's like where I think that's where like confidence is actually forged, like quite honestly. And it's it's funny, like I've met a lot of people that like are very good at like faking confidence, and I think that honestly is a skill, like, and I think it can help you in a lot of cases. But like there's no mistaking a person that walks into a room and like there's no mistaking like genuine confidence, but like it's so easy for me to spot like false confidence. And like people that are just like very like what's the word for it, they're very like rigid, and they're very like once they like come to a decision, like that's the decision and that's their opinion, and like even if it's wrong, they'll like die in the hill, you know? And it's to the point where like I'm not as much like that. Like I'm more like always trying to understand other perspectives, to the point where like I know I'm right, but like because I'm not as confident as them, I'll be like I'll know an answer to a question. Like even for example, one of these conferences, like this past week, someone was like I was talking to this guy and we were like going back and forth, and he was like, "Oh, we have free time till like 5 p.m." And I was like, "No, we have something at 4 p.m." And he's like, "No, you're wrong." And I was actually like, because he was so confident in that, I was like, "Oh," like I knew the schedule, like I knew when that thing started, and I was like, I started to second guess myself because this guy was like so like confident in what he said, and he's one of these guys that like kind of has that like air of like, okay, you know, like maybe it's not like fully genuine, you know. And but then like sure enough, like it started at 4, you know. And I don't know, it's interesting, man. I don't know, I don't really know where I'm going with this, but I think you guys get the general idea. I'm like I'm happy to be back, man. Like 14er season is upon us, so I'm probably gonna this weekend rip I think like a 15 miler and hit like two. I think it's Mount Harvard and Mount Columbia. It's like they call them the Collegiate Peaks. They name them after like a lot of Ivy League schools. So might rip 2 this weekend, and just like get back into it, man. I'm really excited again. Like these really hard things, I feel like really like just teach you a lot about yourself, you know. So with that, I'm gonna try to get back into this weekly habit of posting, you know, every week on here, and I'm almost through this like 3-month push that I've been working towards. So yeah, I'm excited to like have a little more time to like recover, and then also like kind of like prepare for the next phase, you know. So thanks for tuning in, and catch you next week.